Hey, have you heard about the present perfect tense?
No, what is it?
It's a tense used to describe actions that happened at an unspecified time in the past and are still relevant to the present.
That sounds interesting. Can you give me an example?
Sure, here's an example. I have traveled to many countries. In this sentence, have traveled is the present perfect tense.
I see. So how is the present perfect tense formed?
The present perfect tense is formed by using the auxiliary verb have or has, followed by the past participle of the main verb. For regular verbs, the past participle is formed by adding ed to the base form of the verb. For irregular verbs, the past participle is formed in various ways.
Can you give me an example of a regular verb in the present perfect tense?
Sure, here's an example. She has studied French for 6 years. In this sentence, has studied is the present perfect tense. The base form of the verb study is studied, which is formed by adding ed to the base form of the verb.
What about an irregular verb?
An example of an irregular verb in the present perfect tense would be I have eaten breakfast. In this sentence, have eaten is the present perfect tense. The base form of the verb eat is eaten, which is an irregular past participle.
I think I understand now. So, can you give me some more examples of sentences in the present perfect tense?
Sure, here are a few more examples. They have been married for 5 years. He has written a book. We have seen that movie before. She has broken her arm twice.
Thanks for the examples. I think I'm starting to get the hang of this.
Great! Just remember that the present perfect tense is used to describe actions that happened in the past and are still relevant to the present.
Got it. Thanks for your help.
No problem, happy to help. Have you ever heard of the present perfect tense?
Yeah, it's a tense that's used to describe actions that happened in the past, but are still relevant to the present.
That's right. It's also used with words or expressions like ever, never, already, yet, and just. For example, have you ever been to Paris? Or, I have never eaten sushi before.
I see. Can you give me another example?
Sure, here's one. She has already finished her homework. In this sentence, the present perfect tense is used with the word already to describe an action that happened in the past, but is still relevant to the present.
That makes sense. What about yet? How is that used with the present perfect tense?
Yet is used to describe something that hasn't happened up to the present time. For example, they haven't arrived yet means that they haven't arrived up until now.
I get it. So the present perfect tense can also be used to describe an action that started in the past and is continuing in the present?
That's right. For example, he has lived in New York for 5 years. This sentence describes an action that started in the past and is continuing in the present.
Okay, I think I understand how to use the present perfect tense now.
Great! Here are a few more examples of sentences in the present perfect tense. I have never seen a kangaroo in person. She has just finished her book. They have been working on the project for 3 months. We haven't decided on a restaurant for dinner yet.
Thanks for the examples. I'll definitely try to use the present perfect tense more often.
No problem, happy to help. It's a useful tense to know and can make your sentences sound more natural. Hey, have you ever used contractions with the present perfect tense?
I'm not sure. What are contractions again?
Contractions are shortened forms of words. For example, v instead of have, or s instead of has.
Oh, I see. Can you give me an example of a sentence with a contraction in the present perfect tense?
Sure, here's one. I've traveled to many countries.
I get it now. So instead of saying, I have traveled to many countries, you can say, I've traveled to many countries, using the contraction.
That's right. It's a more common way of speaking in everyday conversation.
Okay, can you give me another example?
Sure, how about? She studied French for 6 years?
Got it. Instead of, she has studied French for 6 years. You can say, she studied French for 6 years, using the contraction.
Exactly. Contractions can make your sentences sound more natural in conversation.
I see. So, are there any rules for using contractions with the present perfect tense?
Well, the contraction v is used for have, with, I, you, we, and they, while s is used for has, with, he, she, and it. For example, I've traveled, and he's traveled.
Okay, that makes sense. So, it's I've and you've for have, but he's, she's, and it's for has?
Yes, that's right. It's a common mistake to use s for have, but remember to use v instead.
Okay, thanks for the tip. I'll try to remember that.
No problem, happy to help. Here are a few more examples of sentences with contractions in the present perfect tense. They've been married for 5 years. He's never seen snow before. We've just finished dinner. She's already left for the airport.
Those all sound great. Thanks for the practice.
Anytime. Remember to keep practicing and using contractions in your everyday speech to make it sound more natural. Hi, how are you today? What would you like to learn in our English lesson?
Hi, I want to learn about the negative form of the present perfect tense.
Sure, I can help you with that. The negative form of the present perfect tense is formed by adding not, between, have, has, and the past participle of the main verb. For example, I have not traveled to many countries. And she has not studied French for 6 years. Is that clear?
Yes, I understand. Can you give me some more examples of the negative form?
Of course, here are a few more examples. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. He hasn't called me back. They haven't finished their project. She hasn't been to the gym in a month.
Okay, I think I understand how to form the negative form now. Can we practice using it in a conversation?
Sure, let's practice. I'll start. Have you finished your homework yet?
No, I haven't finished my homework yet. I still have a lot to do.
That's okay. Take your time. Have you ever tried sushi before?
No, I haven't tried sushi before. I'm not sure if I would like it.
Really? I love sushi. It's one of my favorite foods. How about you? What's your favorite food?
My favorite food is pizza. I've eaten pizza many times, but I haven't tried every type of pizza yet.
That's understandable. There are so many different types of pizza out there. Have you seen the new movie that just came out?
No, I haven't seen the new movie yet. I've heard mixed reviews about it, so I'm not sure if I want to see it.
I see. Well, if you decide to see it, let me know what you think of it. Remember, to form the negative form of the present perfect tense, just add not, between, have, has, and the past participle of the main verb. Do you have any questions?
No, I think I understand it now. Thank you for the lesson.
You're welcome. Don't hesitate to ask if you have any more questions.